Hello. You need a little break from the typical news report. You know what I mean. World War III kicking off, cost of living crisis. There's still a plague out there. If we survive the plague, there's an environmental crisis that will get us. I mean, don't we need something else? Well, why not check out the Good News paper? That's what we're here to review today. Each month there's a collection of positive good news. So we'd like to tell you a bit about it in a few moments now.
Section particularly of the August Good News newspaper is absolutely jam-packed with stories. Everything from Elvis Presley's faith in God, because there's a new film about Elvis, to athletes that are taking part in the Commonwealth Games, talking about how God sustains them and keeps them going. A review of a new gangster movie in which we make the point that actually nobody's perfect. We're all sinners according to the Bible. We all need God's forgiveness and we all need Jesus. And a story at the back, you'll remember there was a mass shooting sadly in Plymouth not so long ago. Story of a chaplain who's trying to counsel people and help people in that place to get over their grief and their shock. In the middle section at the bottom there, story on how science is proving the Bible to be true. We run a story like that every month. But this is jam-packed full of good news stories. Justin Bieber interrupted one of his concerts and got down on his knees and prayed. Stories of how Jesus is changing people's lives, not just of the rich and the famous, but of ordinary people as well. What could Jesus do for you? Well, read what he's done for other people in the paper and seek him and find out.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, well, several stories stood out to me as well. There's life situations, really bad situations, but you don't have to despair because things can change. And there's always a bigger picture. So on the front page here, we have this story about a man called John Lord, who was a habitual criminal and jailed for burglary, in despair and suicidal. But he finally was turned around. It's a great story. Then a guy called Ben, who was a convinced atheist and a racist. This man, who was once like that, was changed, completely changed, and now he introduces people to Jesus, a relationship with Jesus. He meets some Shia and Sufi Muslims regularly for dialogue and meals and friendship, and they're finding common ground because of this good news, positive religion and positive news. And in my column, I've got a column there. It's called Life Issues, and how this month is all about how we can feel ostracised and cut off sometimes when people or groups turn against us. And rejection is really hard, isn't it? Really hard to cope with. Often we need a change of perspective to realise that we do belong and there's someone out there who cares for us. And realising that made a difference to me and makes a difference to a lot of people. So I've talked about that in my column. And Jesus, he knows how we feel because he was ostracised and cut off and rejected by others. So he understands. So we don't have to feel alone. And he can make such a difference belonging with other Christians. So there's me.
Just to say, if you want a copy of the August edition of the Good News newspaper, follow the links at the end of the video. We'll gladly send you one. If you're a Christian, get hold of some copies, give them out for your summer. Maybe you want to see somebody on the beach, maybe you see somebody in the park, just give them away. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, if he's not real to you, read the paper, read about people to who he is real, and discover him for yourself. Thanks ever so much, Colin.